Oh. Yeah, once upon a time, Bethesda gave a shit. Alright, what's up next? What's up next? What's it? Oh, okay. We got some Sonic Discord. It was recommended for me to watch the game tier list. Thankfully, they have one video of the parts 1 and 2. Oh God. Before I watch the other Uno ones where they're playing Uno. So we're gonna watch the Sonic Tails and Knuckles make a Sonic Games tier list, parts 1 and 2, from Sonic Discord server. Alright. Let's go. I don't know what to expect from this besides them just talking bullshit about their own games.
All right, Tails, thanks for setting up the Discord server. I figured we could just use this so everyone could stay in contact.
Don't mention it, Sonic. But you're right. This app is really convenient, and we probably should have used this earlier instead of radios and outdated stuff.
Yeah, that was really dumb. I don't know why we did that shit, but whatever.
Anyways, why did you want me to join VC?
Well, while we wait for the next adventure that Sega craps out of its corporate anus, I figured we could just make content together to pass the time.
Oh.
Can we get that on a t-shirt? Because that'll actually sell.
Oh, that's not a bad idea, actually. Well, what kind of content are we gonna make anyways?
Well, tier list videos have been pretty timeless and entertaining content as of late, so I figured we'd do a list where we rank all of our games.
That sounds like a good place to start considering we're familiar with our own games. All right then, what are we waiting for?
Totally
Actually,
familiar.
we're waiting on one more person to join VC. Then we can start this properly. I figured 3 people's opinions would be enough.
Oh, someone else is joining? Who is...
Hey, speak of the devil. What's good, Nux?
What's up, guys? Damn, this shit is way less boring than watching that dumbass Greenstone all damn day.
Oh shit, it's Knuckles? I didn't think you'd be joining a VC anytime soon. How are you doing?
I'm doing just fine, but wait a damn second. Isn't the age limit for Discord like 13? What the fuck are you doing here, Tails?
Well, Tails was able to set up the server and bots and stuff, so just, don't snitch, Nux.
Oh, that's cool. I wasn't going to tell anyways. Your secret is safe with me.
Thanks, Big Red. I appreciate it. Anyways, are we gonna start this, Sonic?
Immediately
Yeah, let's
tells.
do this. I've been entertainment starved for like a week.
All right, then, let me pull up the tier list. And for the record, we aren't doing fan games or any of that. Just officially licensed Sonic games.
Maybe if this video does well, then we could do a list with the most popular fan games, though.
I haven't played many fan games, but that sounds like fun.
You been in the pub with the composer of Sonic R? Does he give a guest lecture at your university? He's not the person. Holy shit. Like the way I would have to do a double take. Because I would not expect that.
Fun too.
All right, I got the tier list up. And of course, what better game to start with than the original Sonic the Hedgehog?
This game kickstarted the franchise. It was one of the most influential games in the market back then.
Hold on just a second. This game is deserving of respect for sure, but the package overall is kind of mid.
Wait,
The
mid?
package is mid? Dude, I know the game is old, but it's still fun.
The only good zones in this game are Green Hill Zone and Starlight Zone. Everything else is either mid or worse.
Oh, come on, I don't think Spring Yard Zone is that bad.
Labyrinth Zone, Sonic! Fucking Labyrinth Zone! God, I'm glad I wasn't in this game.
Actually, I think
You
I'm
made
siding
sure
more with
not to
Knuckles on
sink in,
this
you
one.
feel the
Most of the
sunshine.
stages in this game don't really promote
held
speed
strong,
and aren't very
Nate.
fun
You
to
held
play.
strong.
Still, I think we should give the very first game at least a B tier.
All right, fine. I guess I can live with that. Luckily, things only get better for the Genesis games.
Yeah, B tier works for me. Anyways, what's next?
Next up is the 8-bit Sonic one.
Okay, this version of Sonic 1 was mid. I can agree with that.
Yeah, the screen crunch and minimized mechanics make this an extremely inferior version of the classic title.
I agree that it isn't that great, but I don't think it's bad either. The screen crunch on Master System is way better anyways. I think it should get C tier.
Yeah,
As
that
long as
sounds
it's
right.
not above the Genesis games, that's okay.
All right, and then there's Sonic 2 8-bit.
Nah, this game is fucked up. The first game that
Oh,
introduces
damn.
me also kills me in the bad end.
Damn.
What the shitballs?
And I don't think it needs
Tails
to be
was
said
not
again,
holding
but
back.
still, it's inferior to the Genesis version.
These games do have their charm and can be fun on Master System, but overall I think I'll just throw this one in C tier as well.
But now we're on to an absolute banger. Sonic 2 for Genesis fixed almost everything wrong with the first game. Easy S tier.
That I can definitely get behind. This game added so
Zone
many
can be
staples to
thrown
the
in the
franchise,
dumpster.
like the spin dash.
And most of the zones are actually fun. Emerald Hill Chemical Plant, Casino Night, most of them are bangers.
Although some of the levels are a bit ass, especially Metropolis Zone. Holy fuck, that level is just cruel.
But how could we forget that I was properly introduced in this game? It was so cool seeing me run around in 16-bit. This game is S tier.
Not as good as Sonic 3, though.
Shut up, Nux. I didn't say it was.
All right, cool it, you two. I'm dropping 2 in S tier.
Totally
and we're moving on to the
unbiased there,
Sega Sonic
Tails.
arcade game.
Totally unbiased.
Hello, guys?
I never played it.
Yeah, same. I honestly forgot that existed.
Oh, shit. I never played it either. Fuck it. Let's just pretend it doesn't exist and move on to CD.
I always found CD to be overrated, not gonna lie.
It's overrated for a good reason, though. The music is top-notch and it added Metal Sonic and Amy.
You act like Amy being introduced is a
Fuck,
good
that
thing.
would kill me.
Oh, shit, you're right. Never mind.
Blatant Amy slander aside, I think CD is a good game, but it isn't without its flaws, specifically the time travel mechanic. Trying to get to the past and future is bullshit.
I think I'd rather play CD than Sonic 1, though, so I'm willing to give it A tier. Is that good enough, Sonic?
Yeah, that's high enough. All right, now we're on to another handheld game. Sonic Chaos.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
be
definitely
honest.
prefer Chaos to the...
I had no idea there was so many Sonic games. Like, I knew there were a lot of Sonic games, but I didn't know there were so many. Like, because I barely pay attention to games when they're on, like, phone or mobile devices, like some type of handheld device. Like, so it's like, oh wow, I'm mostly going to be surprised not by the listing, the tier list, but how many Sonic games I've never heard of or just did not realize existed at all.
last two 8-bit games. Not to mention I wasn't just a sprite swap in this game.
As
I
long
played
as
the
you're
OG
playing on the
Sonic.
Master System, then this one can be a pretty fun time. Being able to collect the Chaos Emeralds and then skipping the act you were on was awesome.
On the other hand, though, the game is a little too easy and the ending blows. Not to mention that playing as Tails is basically playing on easy mode.
It's a little easy, but otherwise is charming and can be a good time. I'd give it a solid B tier.
B tier sounds good, but what's next? Oh god, is that Sonic Spinball? Man, that game is stupid.
It's really not that bad, Nux.
Sonic Spinball.
Aside from the music being mid, the sprite work looks good and the game is a good challenge.
A good challenge?
Used to
You call
speedrun
playing the
the
first level for an
obscure
hour
Sonic
while dealing
games,
with
Sonic
the game's
Drift 1,
bullshit mechanics and cryptic puzzles a
Game
good
Gear.
challenge?
That just sounds like a
What
big
the
old skill
fuck?
issue, Red.
What level did you make it to then, huh?
I beat the game, dumbass. I beat all my games. Except Shuffle That Game is unbeatable.
Okay, guys, chill the fuck out, goddamn. While Spinball definitely isn't the
Goddamn.
worst game overall, you gotta admit, for a pinball game, it feels a bit too difficult, especially in the early levels.
All right, fine. That's fair, I guess. I'm down with putting Spinball in C tier, but no lower.
It definitely should be going lower, but whatever.
All right, we're back to the Genesis, and we're on Sonic 3.
Easy S tier, this game is litty as fuck.
Regardless of the fact that Nux is just vouching for this game because he's in it, I also say S tier. This game was super fun, and got even better when Sonic and Knuckles came out.
Most of the zones are super fun, and the Blue Sphere special stages were fun to beat as well. Not to mention the music. Holy shit, the Michael Jackson tracks were fire. S tier.
I still haven't forgiven Origins for replacing the music with such shitty remakes.
Yeah, that was tragic. But next up is Sonic Drift, which was a mid-cart racer, to be honest.
I remember playing this game for like 5 seconds before shutting it off and playing All Stars Racing instead.
Sonic
It's
Drift.
mid and going into D
What?
tier. And I'll just throw
There
Drift
it
2 in
is.
there as well,
There
since
it
it's basically
is.
the same.
But next up is Sonic and Knuckles, another S
I love
tier.
how
Hold
they
on
just-
there, Red.
they just
Sonic and Knuckles on its
sped
own
runs
isn't
it. It's
nearly
like Sonic
as good
Drift
as
1
3.
and 2.
Stop being
D.
biased just because your name is in the title.
Shut up, little bro. This game's zones were just as fire as 3's zones. Not to mention my boss fight and Mecha Sonic.
Sorry I gotta side with Tails on this one, Nux. This game is still great, and it's the only one to have Hypersonic, which was
Facts.
peak. But otherwise, it isn't as solid as 3 on its own.
Fine then. Can we at least settle for A tier?
Yeah, A tier is fine. It's still a good game.
But then, Sega decided to do the best thing ever.
Here we go.
They decided to make it so you could merge 3 and Knuckles into 1 to form the ultimate adventure.
Oh yeah, peek
3
incoming.
and Knuckles is S tier without question.
No arguments here. This is arguably the best Sonic game of all time, and most people would pick it as their favorite.
Hell yeah! This game was such a good send-off for the Genesis games. Too bad it all went downhill from here.
Shut up, Nux, don't be like that. There's obviously still lots of good content after. But anyways, now we're on to Triple Trouble, which is the best 8-bit game in my opinion.
I agree that it's good, but the only problem is that it didn't get ported to Master System. So we're stuck with the screen crunch.
Yeah, I think this game could maybe have gotten A tier if it got an MA port. But right now, I think it should go in B with Chaos.
Fine with me. Next up is Knuckles.
Sonic and
Easy
Knuckles and
S
Knuckles and
tier,
Knuckles and
bro.
Knuckles.
Holy fuck! This game is without question the best Sonic game on the market behind Sonic and Knuckles.
Just
the
Knuckles
mechanics,
3000.
added characters, bosses, music, everything is amazing. This game is near flawless and definitely deserves to be crowned an S tier.
Nux, stop capping, bro.
Give it the S tier, bitch!
Holy
What's that noise? Okay, I think it was just the house doing that weird settling noise. I was like, is that a gunshot? No, it was just the house. Okay.
shit, take a chill pill. I'm gonna be real here, you're tweaking if you think Chaotix is S tier, man. The controls weren't that good, and it's only really fun when you play it in multiplayer.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Tails. The Chaotix were cool and the music slapped like always, but other than that, it wasn't fun, bro. Gotta say, B tier at best.
Way too low,
Yeah,
but
there's
whatever.
so many-
Real ones know where Chaotix goes.
And this isn't about the fact that this was the last game with your name on it, right?
I don't know what you're talking about, kid.
Like, I don't
Anyways, what's
recognize,
up
like,
next?
Next
half
up is
of them
Labyrinth,
so
and I just
far.
want to say that even for Game Gear standards, this game wasn't too good. I mean, this game was literally classified as the slow Sonic game. Did they
Sonic
forget that I
Labyrinth.
literally only do the exact fucking opposite of that?
Yeah, this game is fucking awful. It's literally just a shitty version
gotta-
of
you gotta
3D
always
Blast.
have- you
Shitty
gotta
controls,
always
shitty level design,
the
and shitty
metal
keys to
baseball
find.
bat.
While I personally find the
Meta.
challenge to be decent, I can see why this game is disliked. If you want to play a Sonic game like this, play 3D
Don't bring up the dolls,
Blast.
Yomi.
And with
Don't
that, I'm
fucking
throwing
do
it into
that.
F tier.
No, I hate
Oh,
the
look, and
fucking
from one
dolls.
garbage game to
I
another,
hate
we got Sonic Blast.
dolls.
Ew, this game is just disgusting. My
freaks me the
sprite is
fuck
so
out.
fucking ugly.
Stop
Yeah,
it.
Blast aged really, really bad. It looks really muddy, and the gameplay is too slow. There's no reason to go back to this aside from sheer curiosity for when you get Sonic Origins Plus.
While I don't think it's as unfun as Labyrinth, it's clear that this game is pretty shit. I'm fine with giving it D tier.
No objections here. Let's move on to the actual Blast game.
This game is good in terms of side games. The soundtrack slaps, and the speed is a lot better than the shit show that Labyrinth was.
Gotta say, though, it got a little boring doing fetch quests over and over again. Not to mention, I felt a little floaty in this game. Way better than Labyrinth, though, so I'd say B tier.
I like how
B-tier
everything's being
It was a
compared
pretty
to
decent
Labyrinth
send-off
now.
to the Genesis games.
Rest in peace, sweet Janice. You'll always be missed.
Hey, you good, Nux?
Sorry, I'm just grieving over the times when we actually put out good games consistently.
Bitch, stop being so negative. I'm looking at the list and we still have tons of bangers left.
Speaking of bangers, we got Sonic the Fighters. This should get at least an A.
Fighters, you mean that jank-filled attempt at a quote-unquote fighting game? That shit goes in C tier?
Nah, you don't understand, Red. Sure, it's a little janky, but nothing beats playing with your friends in multiplayer. That's when it gets real
don't
fun.
understand.
I
And top
agree with
tier
Sonic. Whenever
jankiness,
we feel like
God.
trying this game again, multiplayer is where it's at. The added characters like Bean and Bark are
Different
also
levels
staples.
of
Bean and
jank.
Bark, those guys. You think those dudes are at the top of Sega's list of staple characters? That's dumb as shit.
Hey, don't talk shit about our homies like that. Look, just to get this over with, I'll compromise
This
with
and
B
the
tier.
homies.
Oh, god damn it. Sonic R really ticked me off back then. Even multiplayer can't save this game.
I'm actually kind of surprised you don't like this one, little bro. I don't think it's perfect,
You
but I think
accidentally
there's
found a
some
level
charm
select
with
in
it
3D
being the
Blast.
only on-foot racing
you,
game we
Yomi.
have.
There's not enough content for me. Sure, the music slaps harder than that one time I beat the
Sonic
fuck out
R?
of Egghead. And it can be fun if you get good, but that's it. The new characters were mid too. Who the hell thought of Metal Knuckles and Tails doll?
Oh god, don't even get me started with that creepy ass doll. Nah, screw it. I'm with Knuckles Knuckles on C tier.
Damn, I guess I'm outvoted
You're
then.
not
But
biased
now
with
we're
the
on an
composer
actual
meeting.
banger. Sonic Adventure is an easy S tier.
Oh, for sure, S tier. Multiple characters with different playstyles. A soundtrack that unsurprisingly slaps. Tons of collectibles and replayability. There's no way it's anywhere lower than S.
You know I gotta agree with you both. While some things like the cutscenes haven't aged well, I'll still boot up this game on Steam every now and then and have a good time. Even if Big Story gives me PTSD whenever I even think about it.
Speaking
the
of Big,
PTSD?
did we invite him to the server too?
Sonic, I'm not even sure that fat ass knows what Discord is. Have you seen the way he just stares off into the distance? That dude is living in another planet, I swear.
Let's just not tell him about it then. Anyways, next is Pocket Adventure. And I'm gonna be honest, even I forgot this one existed.
From what I remember playing, it's just a standard 2D game with decent level design and music. Don't know why this game of all our games scored a 10 on IGN, but whatever.
IGN are a
preview
bunch of
tier
fakes who
is
don't
just
even play the games
them
they review. And as for this
showing
game,
what game
yeah,
they're
I don't
talking
give a
about.
shit. Just put it in B or whatever.
Fair enough, I guess. Next is Sonic Shuffle, and oh god, this game is straight donkey dick.
I'd rather cut both tails
Not
off than play this
donkey
Mario Party ripoff. The CPU's cheat and the game is too slow and boring. F tier, please, and thank you.
I'd rather recreate the events of Sonic 3 than play this steaming pile of dog shit. It goes into the depths of the list. Even F tier is too good for it.
Glad we all share the same opinion for this mistake. Anyways, we gotta go to game again. Sonic Adventure 2?
You know what? I'm gonna say it. Adventure 1 is better.
Whoa, what did he
The
say?
hell are you smoking red?
This better be good.
You two chuckle fucks need to hear me out.
Listen
I'll
up,
give it that the
chuckle
speed
fuck.
stages are good. Really good, actually. Some of the best levels in the entire franchise. But
Sorry if you
mech
hear me
shooting
moving
is
shit
mid,
around.
and treasure hunting is even worse than Adventure 1. That's 2/3 of the game that's mid.
But the multiple sides to the story,
comfy.
not to mention the story in general. It's one of the most Sonic-feeling Sonic games ever.
Don't forget about the based as fuck Chow Garden.
You guys are focusing on the side shit. The gameplay comes first and foremost, and when 2/3 of the game is mid compared to Adventure 1, where only one gameplay style was mid, I think the first one takes it.
You know what, Knucklehead? You somehow managed to convince me, but I still think the story of Adventure 2 can't be overlooked and should give it A tier.
I can settle for A tier.
People might hate us for it, but screw it. A tier.
Next up on our list is Sonic Advance. Man, I love the Advance trilogy. They're all reminiscent of the classic 2D games while adding their own modern take on things.
I gotta agree with that. While Advance 1 isn't the best one in the trilogy, it still holds up fairly well and offers a good time.
Aside from all the bottomless pits in this game, it sure is my comfort Sonic game. I'd give it a solid A tier.
Agreed. And now on to Advance 2, which I think we can all agree is easily the superior Advance game.
I actually really like exploring for the special rings in each level, not to mention switching it up with different characters made the game more replayable.
Oh yeah, destroying the bosses as cream and cheese was metal as fuck, haha! I say if we gave Advance 1 A tier, then Advance 2 should get
I don't
S.
think this
Sounds
is
good to
the
me.
actual
Next up
voice
is Pinball
actors.
Party.
Yeah, I can't.
Seriously? Has nobody played this game either?
No, I've played it.
Like,
it's
I'm
just
not-
what,
Talking about Sonic Pinball Party right now. The crickets are killing me, but I don't know how they're doing the voices. I'm pretty sure it's not the actual voice actors. Like it's either really good impersonators or impersonators using like the voice changer things. But I'm not 100% sure.
who gives a shit?
Not me, that's for sure. Just throw it in C tier, I guess.
Damn alright, fine. Next up is Sonic Battle.
The best part about this game was Emerald. Everything else was okay, I guess.
I never really got into this game myself. It just makes me wish for us to get a standard Street Fighter-like game. That would be awesome.
Yeah, we need an official Sonic fighting game pronto. Alright, I'll just chuck fighters in B tier. And next up is Sonic Heroes. Now, I want to say right off the bat that I think this game missed the mark on what made the adventure game so special. The individual teams were cool, but it kind of felt like you were playing the same game 4 times in a row.
I gotta agree with that. Heroes isn't a bad game, but it's flawed in how the game is played. Although to sing its praises, the music is once again amazing, and the reintroduction of the Chaotix was amazing at the time.
Oh yeah, I remember when that happened. Vector went apeshit and nearly crushed Charmy. That stupid bee would have gotten what he deserved.
Geez, Nux, stop being such a menace.
I don't care. We aren't on set, bitch. I can say whatever the fuck I want.
All right,
Oh,
chill
shit.
out, bro. Let's just go through a couple more games and then save it for another episode. I'd say we can put Heroes in A tier.
Works for me then. Next up is the final advance game, Sonic Advance 3. I gotta say, this one is my least favorite.
Nah, I really like this one. It's not as good as Advance 2, but I definitely think the team-up mechanic puts it above Advance 1.
I don't mind the team-up mechanic, but I think the overall quality of the level design from Advance 1 puts it a bit above Advance 3.
Normally I'd argue or something, but these games are so similar that I can't be bothered. I just put it in A tier again.
I agree with A tier. Alright, let's do like 3 more games and then we'll end the video. Next up is Shadow the Hedgehog.
That edgy fuckers game? Left tier please and thank you.
Alright, I'll admit, this game isn't all bad. As much as it tried to throw us into an edgy teenage kid Sonic fanfic,
Wait a minute.
I think this game has some merits to throw it in D or...
Don't be dissing the Shadow. Don't be dissing the Shadow now. Come on now. Come on. Also, I will be playing that game. I have it. I will be playing it. I haven't played it yet. Like, I want to go in blind, but I already know it's like you get fucking guns and it's a wacky ass time. I can't wait.
C tier.
The level design isn't too bad, and I like the concept of multiple endings.
Yeah,
but the fact that you have to play the game from scratch
to
over and over again with so many factors being able to change your run brings down the game hard.
I just think it was fun.
It's just one of those games where it was like, it was known as bad, but it was bad in a good way, in an iconic way, that it's like, you have to play it now. Like instant classic.
When he said
just
damn.
because of the shenanigans.
But I'm just gonna give this game a D tier. Hopefully Shadow doesn't see this and come to kick my ass.
Well, next up is Sonic Rush. Man, I really love this game. It started the
DMing them
DS
right
era
now.
of Sonic spin-offs strong.
I gotta side with Tails on that one. The boost gauge was introduced really well and the level design was tight. Not to mention Blaze was a cool character.
I never finished this game, but from
room
what I
of
played,
Sonic
it was
games.
decent.
Damn, Liam.
I'll lend the wheel to you guys, though.
I
Damn.
honestly say S tier, to be honest. For a Sonic game, it's really good. For a non-main series game, it's outstanding.
shit.
It doesn't get much better than this.
Looks like it's settled then. S tier for Sonic Rush. Alright, and the last game for this video is gonna be Sonic Riders. As different as this game was, I honestly really enjoyed it.
I quite liked it as well. The story was decent, and the Babylon Rogues were good rivals for us 3.
Too bad this series got fucking bombed after that dumpster fire called Free Riders came out.
You don't mention that game. I'm thinking A tier for Riders 1 solely because Zero Gravity is kind of the superior version.
A tier sounds good to
Yeah,
end
I
it.
think that's right.
Alright, and that does it for now. I gotta admit, this was a lot more fun than I thought.
Yeah, I'm definitely down to do this more often with you guys.
Maybe we can do tier lists on other things in the future, like other games and real life stuff.
Yeah, I'm totally down for that, as long as nobody barges in the VC and tries to ruin the fun.
Well, well, well. If it isn't the worst creature on the planet, Sonic the Hedgehog.
God
Damn.
damn it, who invited this asshole?
Tails, did you invite Eggman, really?
I swear to God I didn't. I think he hacked his way in.
You would be right, you two-tailed freak. Having an IQ of 300 works wonders for many things. That includes hacking into Discord servers.
Well, fuck this then, I'm out of here.
I gotta go work on the tornado anyways. Bye.
Fuck you, fat ass!
It's not over yet, you little rodents. I'll be back.
Okay, we're just going
Damn
right into
Sonic,
part
the
2.
new channel is looking goated. Good work on the banner and icons and stuff.
Yeah, I totally agree. Nice work, big bro.
It wasn't too hard, to be honest. Just an hour or so in Photoshop and all that good jazz. Thanks anyways, guys. This channel is gonna be fire.
Speaking of which, we should probably finish up our tier list, right? It's been a bit since we started it.
Actually, yeah, you've got a point. We
Which
should
one is the
probably
Free
finish it
Riders,
up.
by the way?
Well, I'm down.
'Cause I-
How about you, Nux?
Oh, you bet.
The one I keep remembering that I remember is like Angry Joe made one of the most iconic reviews of it. It's like the Connect one. It's like when you had to like like when you did co-op on the Connect with it, you had to hold that person's hands or something. It was just so awkward and bad. Sequel to Sonic Riders and after Sonic Riders Connect. I just remember the Connect one because the reviews of it and like I said, Angry Joe's like comes to mind immediately. It was just it was like the Connect itself was a hit or miss when it came to games, to be honest, but for some reason that's just the most memorable one of the Sonic games that bombed, was because it was on the Connect.
I'm down too. I can't wait to praise some greatness and shit on some garbage.
Good to hear. All right, let me just pull up the tier list again.
Hello again, you miserable little rodents. I'm back again.
Oh, come
Why the hell are you here, you dumb egg?
Oh, quit your whining, freaks. The last thing I need to hear today is the likes of you complaining about me.
Don't blame us for being pissed off that you of all people are here, Egghead. Why the hell are you in VC anyways?
I'm in the same boat as all of you. Now that we are finished all of our scenes for the upcoming games, I frankly have nothing to do. I figured conversing with somebody would be better than nobody at all.
You know, despite everything, that kind of makes sense, actually.
I don't give a shit if you're bored, old man. You see the VC name? Sonic Squad. Last time I checked, you aren't a part of it.
All right, chill out, Nux.
Damn.
As much as I hate to admit it, we're all bored, and that includes Eggman.
Ain't no way you're actually defending this bozo.
Silence, you little red turd. Besides, what the hell do you expect me to do? We're in a VC, remember?
Don't make me come over there and start cracking eggs.
Quit it, guys. Knuckles, just deal with it for now. Eggman can help us with the tier list anyways. It would be good considering he's in almost every Sonic game to date.
Fine, but I'm not happy with it.
So what do you say, Doc? You get to stay in the server, and in turn, you help us with our tier list.
I suppose I can provide an ounce of my time to assist in a tier list. Very well, let us begin.
All right, let's get started. And for everyone tuning in, this is the second half of the tier list, so make sure to watch part 1 if you haven't already.
A link will be in the description for you to watch part 1. Just make sure to come back after you finish it.
All
Or you
right,
can
let's
just watch
start
the
already,
video
bitches.
I'm watching.
All right, I got
which
the list
combined
already.
them.
First up on our list is none other than...
Oh, God, no. The horror. The Vietnam flashbacks.
Every time I see that icon, it sends me back to the Dark Ages.
Sonic, you better put that garbage in the F tier right this second, or else I might do something really
God
drastic.
damn.
Okay, guys, hear me out. It isn't that bad.
You must be tweaking, bitch.
Okay, it's bad. Like, really bad, but I don't think it's exactly F-tier bad.
The game could have been good if it was just given more time. But the gameplay is awful. The story is just cringe. And I can't see any reason to revisit the game outside of morbid curiosity.
Not to mention my design, I look absolutely putrid. It takes a lot to ruin an image as handsome as mine.
That is
Oh my
extreme cap.
God.
But whatever you say, look, as long as 06 doesn't get any higher than a D, I'm happy.
All right, D-tier works. It isn't a perfect game, but at least it's not completely terrible.
Is that Sonic Rivals? I always forget that game's existence. It isn't a very notable entry in the franchise.
I agree with Eggman for once. This game is just an obscure 2D racing game. It's not bad, but it's not great either.
Yeah, and it for sure did not need a sequel. I'll just throw both Rivals games in C-tier and call it there.
Oh, geez. Secret
Damn.
rings. These Wii games were so trash, I swear. I hate the
Just
auto
moving
running.
on
While
from
the
Rivals
concept of
1
these
and 2.
storybook games are interesting, the gameplay does not suffice for them to be high-ranked games.
Plus, Black Knight is just better, to be honest.
Facts! I'd put Secret Rings in C tier too. The designs and story go hard, but that's all.
All right, then. What do we all think about Rush Adventure?
While I personally find it
I'm just not
inferior
over
to the
the
first
fact that
Rush
there's so many
game,
Sonic
I
games,
still
and I
think
just
it is a worthy successor
I don't
regardless.
recognize
I
like
never really
over
played
half
this
of
one,
them.
but I'm sure it's pretty good. I'll let you guys decide.
Aside from surfing between islands and occasionally grinding, I think this game holds the spirit of the first Rush game. I'd give it either B tier or A tier.
I definitely agree. Screw it, I'll give it A-tier, why not?
Oh, here we go. I think we can all agree that Riders Zero Gravity is easily the best Riders game.
I concur! The story was improved on and the gameplay was of similar quality. Plus, anyone can agree that it is better than the game that came after.
Oh God, we'll deal with that piece of shit when we get there. Honestly, I'd say Zero Gravity should go in S-tier. It's a top-tier Sonic racing game.
I'd personally put it lower, but I won't be upset with S tier.
Yes, you better not be upset, you little nerd.
Ain't no way the fat ass
No
with
one hates
300
Sonic
IQ
games
is calling
more than
Tails a
Sonic
nerd.
fans.
I am a brilliant genius, not a nerd. Get it right, Pincushion.
I am 5 seconds away from kicking you from this VC egghead.
You know a
Shut
true
the fuck
Sonic
up.
fan
Oh,
when
you
they
can
hate
try
the
to get
fucking
rid of
Sonic
me,
games.
but I'll always return. Maybe I'll revisit Angel Island again. I could use the Master Emerald for some alternative plans of mine.
All right, bitch. You're staying muted for the time being until you learn to stop being toxic.
Egg-looking ass calling me a nerd. Shut your goofy ass up.
Now
Not-
that that's
not
dealt with,
muting
what's up
Dr.
next?
Robotnik
Next up
right
is
here.
Chronicles, man. I didn't like this one at all, to be honest. I've always felt like a Sonic RPG would be awesome, but this one missed the mark.
Gotta agree with that. I think Shade and some of the other added characters were cool, but the gameplay is just boring, and the worlds are unfun to traverse.
Well, I think
Damn.
that just about wraps it up in a shit-covered bow. F tier this poor excuse of an
Shit-covered
RPG.
bow.
Well said, guys. But next up is Sonic Unleashed. I'm honestly kind of mixed on this one.
This game started the boost era, and I gotta say, the daytime levels in this game are absolute fire. Almost all of them hit hard.
I definitely agree with you there, little buddy. But on the other hand, the werehog
don't even
levels are
remember
absolute
Chronicles?
trash.
Damn, Yummy.
They take
You're-
way too long, and that
you're a
stupid
Sonic
fight music
fan.
plays every single time.
And I definitely did not like going around
Saying
collecting
something.
coins in those levels either. Dang, this is a tough one to rank.
Personally, I'd go A tier. The boost levels carry the game hard, but the werehog levels and need to backtrack bring it down quite a bit.
Yeah, that sounds right. I'll go A tier too.
All right, then A tier it
Unleashed
is.
was a
Also, should we
love-hate for you?
unmute Eggman now?
Yeah, we should probably give him a chance. Maybe he's cooled off now.
All right, fine, but I'm gonna talk to him. Hey, you old dick face. Talk to me or anyone else in this VC like that again, and you're gonna get banned. You got that?
Good, Mobius. Fine, you simple-minded echidna. If it will keep me here, then I promise to stop hurting your very fragile and limp feelings.
That's basically as good of an apology as we're gonna get from Eggman. Anyways, now we're on to Black Knight.
This is definitely the better storybook game, but only by a little. The controls are still kind of wonky, and the game still isn't exactly fun to play.
It mostly came down to swinging your sword around like a buffoon. It definitely was not engaging, to say the least.
Although I gotta say, that sword was awesome. And the armor I got to wear was sweet too.
Don't forget my
kinda
design. My
remember
drip
Sonic.
went hard in that game.
Damn right it did.
Black Knight,
All right,
I
I'll
remember
drop Black Knight
hearing
in B
about
tier,
it, but I
and
don't
we can move
remember
on to
actually
All-Stars
seeing
Racing.
anything
So
about
why
it.
did we drive cars instead of running on foot?
Because those cars were badass.
I just recognize it.
Duh. Also, we gotta make it fair for everyone who can't run fast anyways.
It was so awesome to get to meet all our fellow Sega friends again. It had been so long.
Although this game is definitely a clone of a certain franchise that shall not be named, I believe it is a decent entry and deserved B tier.
All right then. Next up is Sonic 4. This game is pretty mid, not gonna lie.
Definitely mid. How dare this game try to disguise itself as a sequel to one of the best games of all time? Instant F tier.
All right, I wouldn't go that low.
Black Knight
Episode
was
1 is
a
definitely
fun one, but not a
mid,
good
although
one.
Episode 2 offers a bit more by adding
Yeah, I
things
just
such as
remember
Metal Sonic
seeing,
and myself, of course.
Like
They are still
advertisement
fake
for it. I
classic
don't remember
games
seeing
and
any
should be ranked
gameplay or
lower.
anything.
All right, chill out, Egghead. I'll put Episode 1 in D tier and Episode 2 in C tier. Next is... Oh, God.
The sooner that fucked up abomination is in F tier, the better. Enough said.
Yeah, I don't want to get PTSD in the middle of the wreck right now, so F tier.
I fucking hate Microsoft.
Alrighty, now we're on to Sonic Colors.
I liked Colors at first, but it just feels generic nowadays, and it's barely even a 3D Sonic game.
I never liked the Wisps either. Most of them feel redundant and aren't fun to play. Not to mention the shit show release of Colors Ultimate.
Let's just forget that version exists. For the original version of Colors, I'd say it gets no higher than B tier.
Also, the DS version is just the better version, no cap.
All right, we'll throw Colors in B tier. Speaking of the DS version, I gotta say I much preferred this version than the Wii version. It's basically Rush 3.
Exactly. The Rush games were goated, and this one is no different. The story is better. More characters show, including yours truly, and the final boss is a
Like
huge
so
improvement.
many of these.
Yes, this is definitely the superior Colors version.
Like
I
I
would give it a
played the
solid
first couple
A
of
tier.
Sonic
Yeah,
games.
I like this version more too. A tier for sure.
And I
Works for
recognize
me.
some of
Oh, and
these.
we got another goated game up
There's
next.
so many that
Generations
I
is
don't
easily S tier without question.
Absolutely
ever
S
even
tier for
remember
sure.
hearing
I
about
loved
or
revisiting
seeing.
updated versions of past areas we explored. Also, classic Sonic was so fun to play as.
Modern Sonic was equally fun to play as, too. All the
Yeah,
old
no Sonic
bosses coming
generations.
back was awesome as well, especially that Chaos fight.
I believe we are in agreement that this is the best game in the Boost era. With that in mind, it should go in S tier.
Spitting facts with that, S tier, but the handheld version of Generations is definitely inferior. This could have been another Rush game, but instead it's just boring.
Enough said, just throw it in C tier. I never played it anyway.
All right, and now we're getting into mobile games. Let's just get this over with. What do we think about Sonic Jump?
That shitty doodle jump clone? Who cares? Just put it in C tier. It's mid just like our other attempts at mobile games.
Kinda harsh, but I agree. Although All-Stars Racing Transformed was amazing, it's easily the best racing game we've gotten to date.
I totally agree. Not to mention all the third-party rep we got, Wreck-It Ralph and fucking Team Fortress 2. This game was goated.
Holy shit, I love TF too. All right then, I think this game undoubtedly gets S tier as well.
Sonic Dash is amongst our better mobile games, but it still is nothing more than a Temple Run clone.
Yeah, this game was kind of
Not a
wonky. I
Temple
remember we
Run
got some
clone.
crazy crossovers like Angry Birds and stuff. It's not bad, and I'd just give it B tier.
Yeah, B tier works. Next up is Lost World, though. I didn't really like this game either, and the 3DS version was even worse.
It kind of felt like a ripoff of that
see,
one
I'm just
series
not
from that one
recognizing a lot of
franchise that
these.
won't be mentioned. The Deadly Six were lame,
Like,
and the story
I
was...
don't mean I'm just not recognizing, like, I'm just not remembering them. It's the fact that I don't recognize even seeing advertisements for this. Like, a lot of these just completely pass me by. It's like some of these, like, I remember seeing advertisements for. Some of these I remember seeing gameplay for. I played a couple of the earlier ones. But a lot of these, I honestly cannot say I remember ever seeing anything even advertising for them.
equally as lame.
Also, they gave me a run button. Why the fuck would I ever need a goddamn run button, Sega?
All right, calm
You're
down,
very
bro. I
uninterested
put the
in
Wii U
Lost World
version in
and you
C
get
tier and the 3DS version in D tier, mid games overall.
All right, now that that's over with, what do we think about Jump Fever? Point taken. C tier it is. Next up is Sonic Boom.
No, there is no way in hell I'm doing this again. F tier both of these games right now.
Oh, damn.
Rise of Lyric and Shattered
Sonic
Crystal both missed the mark and
Boom.
forgot what makes a Sonic game so unique. They're just shitty attempts at rebranding. F tier.
Also, they made me a complete dumbass. My IQ is 11, not 10. Get it right, Sega.
And our designs in general were also shitty? Yeah, screw it, F tier for both. Next up is Sonic Runners, another mobile game.
You can't even play this game anymore. And from what I've seen, it was mid, so C tier.
I never got to play it. I didn't.
See, that's what pisses me off a lot these days is a lot of these games that were on like mobile and stuff, you can't play anymore unless you find a way to like emulate it or something somehow. But there's no legit way to play them anymore. Like that. I'm not talking about just like Sonic games. I'm talking in general video games that have been on mobile and are never ported to something else you can play it on. Like as soon as it's off the App Store or whatever, it's like it's gone forever unless you can find some illegal downloaded version of it somewhere.
Even know it existed, so I don't give a fuck.
You can still play Runner's Adventure though. Still, it's really mid and just an average 2D runner. C tier for
Yeah, I
both,
hate it when
honestly.
video games
Yeah,
are
that
just not
works.
archived
I just want to
in
get
any
these
way.
mobile games over with. Next is Dash 2, which for some fucking reason
Like,
was
you're
themed
just
after
erasing
Boom.
history.
This one was just as
history of
generic
video
as the
games.
first Dash, but it
When it's
does in
not
C tier
archived,
due to being
right?
tied in with Boom. Disgusting!
All right, chill out, Egghead. We just have one more Boom game to go, and that's Fire and Ice.
You know, somehow this one wasn't as shitty as the other console Boom games. The pacing was a bit better and some parts were fun to play. I'd bump this to D tier.
Yeah, I agree with Knuckles. For the last Boom game, it at least was a bit of an improvement.
Although I despise Boom, I can agree with that.
D tier it is then. Thankfully, an absolute banger came out after all this Boom shit, none other than Sonic Mania.
Oh, hell yeah. You
The
S tier
Boom
that
shit.
shit right now.
An absolutely glorious return for the classic era with amazing graphics and music. A top-tier game.
Not to mention, if we put this game any lower, we'll probably get absolutely demolished in the comments. So, yeah, S tier.
Well, that was quick and easy. Thank you so much, Headcanon.
But on the complete opposite side is Sonic Forces. Damn, this game was such a
Sonic
letdown. I
Forces.
never enjoyed it. And it's easily the worst boost game.
A game where I finally take over the world and it comes out like this. What an absolute embarrassment.
The level design was
insult.
literally boost to win. The bosses were lame, and classic Sonic was there for no reason other than nostalgia. I'd give this D or F tier for sure.
Well, if it's down to me, I'd throw it in D tier for not being completely broken or unfun to play. Anyways, next is Forces Speed Battle, which is surprisingly not that bad.
It's honestly crazy that this game still gets updates. There's so many new characters from the movies to even the comics.
I suppose it is not that bad. I'm just so tired of these half-baked mobile games.
Aren't we all? I'll
Just
just throw
Forces
this jettison B tier and move on to our latest racing game,
I think you
Team
mentioned
Sonic
it
Racing.
once or
Why the
twice.
fuck did they get rid of all the other Sega characters? That was one of the best parts. Now it's just so lame.
I agree, that was a very odd decision. This game is very lacking and has not gotten any updates. Throw it in C tier, rodent.
Currently throwing in C tier. And now we're on to the final game on the list and our latest adventure as of this video, Sonic Frontiers.
God, I really like this game. It was a new idea pulled off, right? And it makes me really hopeful for the future of our franchise.
I very much appreciated
I
the more
remember,
serious tone of this game.
I remember seeing, like, Sonic Frontiers, I remember seeing, like, the reveal of it and stuff. And, like, when it came out, though, like, when it finally released, I didn't really hear that much about it. So I don't know, was it well received or what? Because, like, after its release date, I heard nothing about it.
I also found the open world very satisfying to roam around in and complete objectives.
And those supersonic boss fights, man, those were so damn badass. The music went way too fucking hard for those segments.
And to top it all off, we're getting more DLC and story later this year, including more playable characters.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm so excited to be playable again.
Well, with all that said, I honestly think we should end this off with an S tier, guys.
That is fine with me. A nice end to this whole tier list.
Alrighty then, Frontiers gets the S tier. And that's all she wrote,
nice.
folks.
Wow, this was honestly a lot of
So
fun.
Frontiers
Looking
was
at the
good.
list, we still have a ton of
Because it
bangers
was
on our
good, no one
catalog.
talked about
I
it.
guess sometimes we let
So
the
people
negative
only wanna
aspects of our
talk about
franchise
bad Sonic games.
overshadow the genuinely
That
fun
actually-
games we have. I had a lot of fun with this list.
That
Thanks for
sadly
inviting me, guys.
makes a lot of sense. Because
Eggman, are you gonna say something?
Where in the actual fuck is Mean Bean Machine? Did you rodents remove it from this list?
Wait, what? No, we didn't even make the list, dude.
Quiet, fool! I'm going to take over the world in retaliation for this disrespect once and for all!
oh my god.
Should we do something about that?
Nah, don't worry, you two. I'll be able to take care of him by myself. Thanks for joining the vid, though.
No
Damn.
problem, big bro. We'll see you around.
Yeah, see you later, homie.
Peace, y'all. Up, over, and gone.
Well, what do you want to do now, Tails?
Want to play some Minecraft, Nux?
Oh, hell yeah! Minecraft is goated!
I heard that you two were gonna play some Minecraft.
How
Oh
the hell
shit.
did you find that out? We just said that.
Oh
That's
shit.
not important. Do you have
Shadow
room for
has
one more?
entered the
Yeah,
chat.
I guess you can join if you want to, Shadow. Sonic's gone right now, so we could use one more.
It's settled then. Let's get that damn Ender Dragon.
Thanks for watching, y'all. See you next time.
God. But yeah, like I was saying, I've noticed over the years, like, it's if a game is actually good, whenever someone makes like a video about it or talks about it, it doesn't get as much views and attention as something that's getting dogpiled and shit talked. Like I have noticed that over the years, sadly. So it's like even if there are good games out there, it's not going to be as popularized as shit talking the shitty ones. Sadly. But yeah, at least they ended it on a good one.